Hello everyone, this is Pan Bin. Welcome to our presentation. Our topic is money laundering and globalization. This is the outline. I will introduce session 1 first. Han Youxiang and Zhang Wenqi will give examples and connect globalization with money laundering. Finally, Hu Hongping will do the conclusion. First of all, I will tell some history of money laundering. Money laundering is the process of introducing illegal opting money back into the economy. Exchanges the illegal acquired money for legally acquired money. There are many ways to launder money, such as operating a shell company, a currency exchange, restaurants operating cash checkouts that have separate bank deposits and involvement of banks in money laundering. Money laundering has a long history. The term money laundering originates with happen to set up laundries all over the city to excuse the origin of his booth proceeds. This is the earliest money laundering. Major financial institutions, such as banks, are often used for money laundering. Prominent financial institutions, such as the HSBC, have been found guilty of aiding or financing money laundering for failing to properly report large cash deposits. This is end of my part. Thank you.
Hello everyone, my name is Zhang Wenqi. Now I will introduce some real-life examples of money laundering. And the first one is Bitcoin money laundering. And before that, I will talk about Bitcoin briefly. Bitcoin is one type of digital currency, and here are 3 features of Bitcoins. The first one is decentralized. This means banks are no longer necessary interpersonal transactions with Bitcoins, and as a result, Bitcoin transactions are made between Bitcoin addresses directly. The second feature is anonymous. It is in stark contrast to a blank account, where creating a bank account requires specific time and sufficient personal information. But creating a Bitcoin account requires none of this. And the third feature is peer-to-peer. People could complete transactions directly without going through a third party or bank, which is really efficient. And for blockchain, blockchain is the underlying technology for the Bitcoin, and it can be seen as a publicly visible ledger for the Bitcoins. All transactions are logged in the blockchain and can be inspected via public websites. Anyone, anywhere can see all Bitcoin transactions from one Bitcoin address to another in real life. And the current balance of the amount of Bitcoins in the Bitcoin address is also visible in the blockchain. And because of the particular features of Bitcoins, there exists some potential risks which lead to many illegal activities, such as cybercrime, drug dealing, and money laundering. Now I will discuss how to complete money laundering by using Bitcoins. Bitcoin mixing services are created to finish money laundering via Bitcoin. The typical mode of operation is that Bitcoin mixing services provide customers with a newly generated Bitcoin address to make a deposit. And after deducting a mixing fee, the Bitcoin mixing service pays out other Bitcoins from its reserve to Bitcoin addresses provided by the customer. and to provide more anonymity. The payouts are spread out over time, and several randomness is introduced in the division of amounts and the mixing fee. And an operational Bitcoin mixer makes it virtually impossible to trace back mixed Bitcoin to their tainted source. The customer can check the taint of received Bitcoins at the blockchain if the Bitcoin mixing is performed correctly, and there is no link between the deposited Bitcoins and received Bitcoins. Some Bitcoin mixing services offer a service to returning customers to ensure that deposited Bitcoins in their reserve are not accidentally paid out to the same customer in a subsequent use of mixing service. And after each mix, the customer is issued a returning customer number. This number can be presented when reusing the mixing service. The mixer then knows which Bitcoins in the reserve were earlier deposited and will not pay out these same Bitcoins to the client. This service model is suitable for returning customers, or said differently, frequent launchers. In this manner, a complicated strategy can be set up using Bitcoin as a facilitator in the laundering cybercrime process. And that is how Bitcoin mixing services are used in money laundering. And now my group member will introduce the globalization of money laundering.
Hello everyone, my name is Brian, and I want to talk about globalization of money laundering. There are 3 steps of money laundering. The first step is the placement. This is the initial stage of money laundering. The money laundering inserts the illicit proceeds into a number of financial accounts. The second step is layering. This is a money transfer to another country. Funds can be converted into assets. The third step is consolidation. The money usually enters the destination or mainstream economy in a legal form. It appears to come from a legitimate transaction. With the development of the global economic and integrated financial markets, the transfer of funds across international borders is easy and fast. Many countries have strict bank secrecy laws that allow anonymous transfers of funds. This has created easy conditions for criminals to transfer funds to other countries. Many organized international crimes lead to money laundering, such as drugs, property, finance, violence, nightlife, trafficking, arms, fraud, political corruption, financing of terrorism. Terrorist financing involves the calculation and handling of funds, the provision of resources to terrorists. Successful attempts by terrorists to launder money can have a significant impact on national or regional security and can cause significant damage to countries, cultures, and economics. And the link between money laundering and narcotics financing is simple and straightforward, as drug traffickers have a simple goal of bringing more drugs to the streets. Money laundering is a key step in the exercise of drug trafficking, terrorist financing, white-collar crime, and other illegal activities. There are many countries and global organizations that are actively working to combat money laundering. In the United States, the Department of Justice, the Department of State, the FBI, the International Tax Administration, the DEA, and other regulatory agencies all have divisions that investigate money laundering and the underlying structures that make it successful. The global community is fighting money laundering through various organizations such as the FATF, United Nations, the World Bank, and the International Monetary Fund also have anti-money laundering entails. The FATF was created to help enhance international cooperation and assess the result of anti-money laundering policies globally. Advances in technology have helped greatly in the fight against money laundering. For example, OFAC, Financial Action Task Force, EU, and FBI. Technology can be of great help in the find money laundering criminals.
Hello everyone, my name is Tim Wu. Now I will talk about some national approaches for money laundering. We all know the money laundering has been around for a long time, and in today the globalized world, cross-border money flows are more frequent. So the situation has intensified. For Al Capone money laundering methods in the beginning to the different methods today, and the impact has expanding as a result. The nation have strengthened their approaches to the money laundering. For example, they will to defend the nation of the money laundering. In Taiwan, there are 15 laws that defend money laundering. Second, strengthen the international ties. In terms of the organization, have the APG and the 4 major international conventions. And next part, we can set up a government department to strengthen the research. For example, the Taiwan has in-depth money laundering office, and the Macau has the Macau Financial Intelligence Office. And the next we want man like the flow of large amounts of money. For example, when we buy something expensive, we need to show sources of income. And I think that this 4 point is worth that the resolve remarkable. For example, the Macau broken a 1.1 billion corresponding money laundering case in the 2022. In the end, the money laundering is even more consistent. Today, due to the globalization, criminal organizations use the mechanism of the globalization to expand the crime of money laundering. In recent years, the nation has also stepped up their prevention efforts to reduce the incidence of money laundering, and there has been gains. That's all. Thank you for listening. This is our reference.